It goes like
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brianna, but you can call me Bri, and as you can tell, we are doing a little Q&A, everything you need to know about high school. As you may or may not know, I graduated high school not that long ago, and I will be going into my first year of college at Penn State this fall. So I feel like this is the perfect timing to give some advice for either incoming high school students or people already in high school if you just need some advice. I really am excited to share as much information as I can about it, and if you have any further questions, don't hesitate to ask. I've done one of these before, I believe, but I feel like now that I'm completely done with high school, it's way easier and just have better information, I think, to share with you guys. So we're gonna go through some advice, some questions, and all of the in-between, and I hope this helps at least one person. And I hope everyone is excited for fall of 2025 school year, whether it's high school, college, whatever. I'm very excited. So stay tuned definitely for my Penn State journeys of my first year of college, because there's a lot to see and a lot to do, and a lot to learn for sure. But that's enough yapping. Let me just get right into it. I believe I want to preface this video by kind of giving you my own experience so you know kind of how my high school years went, so then my advice can kind of be based off of that. Starting off with freshman year. Freshman year was definitely my favorite year. I had a lot of fun, probably because none of the drama and stuff has kicked in yet. You don't really know that many people. It's just kind of fun. I played high school soccer, and that year I was on JV, and so I basically got to play every single game the whole time. Because not to my own horn, but I'm pretty good. I don't like bragging, okay? Whatever. So yes, I scored like so many goals. It was beautiful and amazing, and I enjoyed every second of it because my coach actually believed in me. It was great. Academics were easy. I only took one AP class. It was AP Human Geography. I ended up passing, but other than that, nothing was hard. I took some honors classes, and overall, it was pretty fun. Sophomore year, I had some harder classes. Honestly, that was kind of like my pointless year. Like, I don't think anything that successful or unsuccessful happened. I met more people, obviously, as time goes on. I was on varsity now, but I didn't get to play really. But you know, if you want a whole high school soccer story, let me know. I don't know if I want to share all that, but also I do, because bullying is not okay, and my coach was not okay either. My junior year, if you've watched any of my videos, was my hardest year by far. I took the hardest classes in my opinion. I took like 3 APs, I believe. I ended up succeeding really well in all of them, so I'm very proud of myself for that. But yeah, I was getting bullied in soccer, and that's when I started to realize the people there, the staff, the teachers, the coaches were all really toxic and bad. So that's just my personal school, but I want to preface my advice with that. So yes, I also got like nose surgery and it was a hard year. And then senior year was not the hardest year, still not the best. I figured out who I truly liked in high school, like who were my actual friends, which is not many people. You learn that really quickly, I feel like. It was definitely hard. I took like 4 APs. So that was hard, but I also succeeded in them, which was even more shocking, honestly. And yeah, I just kind of pushed all the bad away and looked towards my future. So that is my brief-ish preface of how my high school experience went. Definitely not the best it can be, but also I think all of that needed to happen to be where I am today. So with that being said, we're going to start with the advice. We're going to start with friends. I feel like friends is a hard one in any stage of your life. So yeah. few questions I got about that are, will you keep your middle school friends or will they leave? For me, personally, my middle school friends went to different high schools. So I went to my high school knowing nobody, which was not bad for me because I don't mind meeting new people. It's the same for college. Penn State, I don't know a single person there, and I'm very excited about it because I just want to meet new people. But if you are going into high school with your middle school friends, I feel like you most likely will keep them. Being young and not fully matured, a lot of the times you just keep those friends even if they're not, you know, your best friends. But there's also, I feel like, a lot more people you can meet in high school and different groups you can try out and see who you stick with best. So I think don't worry about it too much because I promise you'll meet other people. Even if you're introverted and shy, you will meet your group and it'll be great. If you want to sit down next to someone in a class, do you ask or just sit? On the first day or the first few weeks, you could ask, I don't know, to be polite, to see if anyone's sitting there. But most of the time, I say just sit. And if they're like, oh, someone's sitting there, then you can go somewhere else. But if you sit and you start talking to that person, you can easily make a friend. I just went to college orientation, and that's basically their whole thing. You sit down and you just start talking to everyone around you. But that's, you know, everyone's in the same boat and all that stuff. So I say just go for it. You can ask to be polite, but if they say no, just sit down and start talking to them, especially if you don't know. However, if it's later into the year, if you don't have assigned seats in your class, there are unassigned assigned seats. I think this is the same in college and also in parking. You kind of sit somewhere, and if you sit there your whole class or year or whatever, it's kind of your unassigned assigned seats. So you're really supposed to just sit where you've always sat. Same with parking. Someone at the end of senior year kept taking my parking spot. I'm like, I've had this parking spot for like 3 years. Don't even. And lastly, popularity. I hate popularity because I don't think it's a thing. Even at my school, which is a very traditional public high school, I don't think there was really popular people. There was people who did like ASB and did a lot of things, like they were in a lot and they knew a lot of people, so I guess that's considered popular. But it wasn't like, oh, they're popular and you're not, so you can't talk to them, you know? I don't think it's as crazy as it seems in the movies. There's like definitely cliques and groups and mean people, but that doesn't mean necessarily that they're popular. At least I didn't see it that way. I didn't care to be popular or be friends with anyone like that, so that's kind of my take on that. Now let's talk about what's really important in my opinion, academics. Now, if you're not the academic type, I implore you to be the academic type, because high school, I feel like, is very important for you to start building your future. And I know it doesn't seem like it, and I know you don't want to, but it's really important to start day one of freshman year just preparing for your future. I didn't do that because I didn't know any better, but the second I realized I should, further into freshman year or sophomore year, I was like on it because it's very important. But to start off, is it hard? I got a question if academics are hard in high school. Compared to middle school, I guess it can be. I'm kind of a bad example because, not to toot my own horn, I took mainly honors and AP courses all of high school. So I kind of like to be challenged. Some APs can be pretty easy, I promise. But there are some good ones that are definitely really hard. So it kind of depends what you take. There's CP classes, there's honors classes, and there's AP, at least where I am. I know there's other types in other places, but CP to me is like too easy, like stupidly easy. And if you're taking CP, that's totally okay. But for me personally, I really didn't like that. I like challenging myself and doing something a bit harder. So I took honors and up. And honors, I think, was a good ground level. Some of my teachers at my school just didn't teach, literally couldn't be a teacher. So some of my honors and AP classes were just like sucky and bad. But I implore you to challenge yourself. I think it's more entertaining for your brain, honestly. And it will be harder, but as you get used to it, it gets easier. Speaking of AP and CP, I would say like my last 2 years were harder for AP classes. A lot of the history classes I'm bad at, so that was harder for me. If you're good at it though, those can be easy. Pre-calc, I know can be hard, and it was hard for me, but I surprisingly did really well. I didn't take calculus because I know that's too hard for me, and I didn't take physics because I also know that's too hard for me. Economics was really hard. Government was pretty hard. Stats was like semi-hard. I don't know, everyone has an in-between opinion on that. So those are kind of my ideas for that. The rest that I'm thinking of are fine. As I was saying earlier, I would recommend preparing for college early. So I think I talked about this in another video. I'll link it here if I remember what it is. But basically, prepare early. And what I mean by that is when you're applying for college, apply as early as you possibly can. If there's early action, do that. Start looking for colleges very early. I think I started looking really early. I applied really early and I got in early. So I think that was a big success as to why I got into the colleges I wanted to get into, which was all of them, fortunately. But I cannot emphasize that enough. I explain that a lot more in whatever video here. So definitely go look at that, because being prepared is so much better. If you know what you want to do, definitely also look into stuff related to that. Like I took outside classes for Korean because that's my major. I also did outside classes for marketing and English. Like definitely do your research and take extra classes over the summer, because that will help you either transfer credits into college or, you know, look better for college. I think a lot of prestigious colleges also look for you to start your own like startup or a volunteer thing related. You can't just be an academically smart person anymore. Like you can't just get good grades. You have to do other stuff. You have to do extracurriculars. You gotta be a well-rounded person is what I think they're looking for. It's hard to know or tell, but that's my advice on that. Lastly, I definitely recommend doing any type of sports or clubs or activities or organizations in your high school. If you're an athletic person, definitely join a sport. That's a well-established community. Not for me personally, but I'm sure it's gonna be 10 times better for you. So definitely join a sport. If you're not like that, you can do band or you can do clubs. There are so many clubs at a lot of schools, and that really helps you to establish what you kind of want to be a part of. I was in quite a few academic clubs. I was also in Girl Up because I am passionate about feminism and women empowerment. I also was in a K-pop club at some point because that's also my interest. So try all those things, because you, 1, get a community out of it, 2, can do something you're interested in, and 3, it does look good for college. But don't like overdo it. At one point I think I was in like 8 clubs, and then I wasn't, because it was too much and it didn't make sense for what I wanted to do. So do the most you can, make the most of your high school experience, because it really does go by fast. I know everyone says that, but look at here, 4 years down, it's crazy. And now I'm in college, wow. But definitely make the most of it. I tried my best to do that, even at my sucky school, I tried. So I know you can do it at a good school. Here is some questions and tips for the girlies. So my advice to you guys, especially when you're coming from middle school to high school and things are changing, always have some emergency items with you, because you never know. If you want me to do a separate video on that, or like what I think you should bring for high school, all that stuff, please let me know. But definitely have emergency kit stuff. Definitely be a girl's girl, and what I mean by that is help a girl out and compliment them if they need something. It's a community you can have just by being a girl, which is so slay. Definitely know your body is changing. Hormones are crazy and you can't always feel your best. I feel like as women, we're expected to feel our best and do our best all the time, but that's simply not possible with like all of our cycles and stuff. It just doesn't work that way. So don't be too hard on yourself if you have a week where you're just like so down and sad because I had those times too, and I'm sure I'll have plenty more in college. I'm sure I will. But you know, you can't always feel your best or always do your best on a test or something, and don't always blame yourself for that because we got a lot of hormones going on, you know? And don't forget to take breaks because we all need that. Next thing is definitely stay out of drama. It's not worth it. It's dumb. It's petty. It's immature. I'm someone who, my pet peeve is immature people, which is kind of a dumb pet peeve to have because you're always going to find immature people, especially if they are young, because you can't help that. I'm a bit older. I'm 19 and just more mature in general, so I just like that more. Like, I like being more mature. So being in drama was like the dumbest thing I could even think of. And lastly, be nice to everyone. It's not hard to be nice. It really isn't. Being a nice person makes you feel good. It makes others feel good. And it makes the world go round, you know? But with that being said, don't think if someone else is doing something that you're not, or if your interests are different than someone else's, doesn't mean it's wrong or bad or not right. You be interested in what you want to do, not about others. I feel like in high school, everyone's just like, oh, what is she doing? What are they doing? No. This is about you and your future and who you want to be and about what you're doing. So don't worry about anyone else and just be kind and loving to everyone, because just in general, do that, please. Okay, finally, lastly, I know I've been talking a lot. I love to talk, but now I'm going to give you my best advice just in general for high school. And you know, this can go for a lot of other things as well. Number one, try your best and prepare the best you can for college. I know a lot of high schoolers don't want to try. They don't want to be there. They think high school's dumb. Don't worry, my high school was very dumb. But you have to try your best and you have to succeed if you want to get into a good college or just get a job, honestly, in general. You have to try. You can't be failing. You can't be skipping a bunch of school. It's true. It's true. Next, take your time to figure out who you want to be as a person. I know that's a big thing to say and ask of someone who's probably like 14 or 15, I don't know how old, when you like go into high school. So I know it's a lot to ask, but if you want to start off being a nice person wherever you go, I feel like high school is a great way to do that, because as you're maturing with everyone else, you can learn who you kind of want to be. I think that's amazing and beautiful. And don't be anyone else, only be yourself. I would say go to all the events. If there's sports like football and stuff, definitely go to all of it because it's a lot of fun and you'll have some really great memories. Even if it's not like with the best people or people you're not friends with anymore, it's still great memories to have. I definitely like those memories a lot. You also don't need to have it all figured out. Like I said, you guys are all really young, and even I am at 19, which is crazy. But you don't need to have it all figured out, and you don't have to have it figured out in college either, which I know I'm gonna think that's what I need to do in college, but no, it takes a lot of time. Just try your best and do what you think is the right thing to do. I would say at the very end is just try to make the most valuable friendships you can. In the end, I've found one valuable friendship out of high school. Granted, my school's pretty small and a lot of people just didn't click or work for me, which is totally okay. But making valuable friendships that actually last and aren't just surface level is a really great thing. But then also, don't forget your family. For me, I love my family and I love hanging out with them and I always want to spend time with them. And as someone who's moving away in about 3.5 weeks to college across the country, I could not cherish my family anymore. I just love them so much and I want to spend all my time with them. So if you are thinking of moving away, don't forget to spend time with your family during high school. And I know I found people in my high school life that thought that was weird, or like, oh, you're having family dinner, like why do you have to go home and have dinner with your family? Because I love my family and I'm not gonna be here with them for much longer, so what are you doing? No, everyone's different, everyone's family dynamic is different, so if that is something that is important to you, definitely make that a key thing, especially your senior year, if you know you're gonna move away or go somewhere else where you won't see them for a while. Same with friends. So just hang out with them and cherish them while you still have them here, or while you're still here. But yes, that is my full list. Again, let me know if there's anything else you want me to talk about or answer. I would love to. I hope this helps at least one person. If anything, it helps me because I love talking. But I have so much more to say. I think I'm gonna make another video because I've gotten some more subscribers, which is so sweet. Thank you guys. Just talking about more myself, get to know me a bit more. Because, you know, I'm a bit older now than when I started this YouTube channel, so things have changed. With all that being said, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do all those fun YouTube things, and I'll see you very, very soon with another video. Bye!
It goes like, ooh.